We did 9. 10 through 13. And that's page 51 in your workbook. Is everybody done with 10?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You should have ended up with K22.3.
Yes.
Awesome. Good job. An omega colon is kind of an odd word, I think, in our brain because of the word mega, but it's an abnormal dilation of the colon. And they don't know really what causes it, but it is very, very painful. And here the colon became toxic. So megacolon, toxic. Then in your alphabetical listing, you should be on page 251 if you're still trying to find it. And even though it has NEC, it just means not elsewhere classified. We don't have any other information to add to it. So that code is valid. So you should have gotten K59.31.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Then, as I said, on 12, you're going to go to impaction and then fecal.
Is K56.49?
K56.41.
41.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Just remember that anytime something ends in 9, it's unspecified,
Okay.
and this is very specified,
Okay.
FYI. All right, hopefully moving on to number 13, please.
Is it K74?
It's K74.3.
3?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
For which number? That's 13, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
K74.3.
Okay.
Everybody okay on that one? All right, 14 is a little tricky. Probably I should say more than a little tricky. So when I look at 14, it says food protein induced enterocolitis due to allergy to eggs. What do you think where do you think you're going to start?
Enterocolitis.
enterocolitis.
That's correct.
And
So enterocolitis first.
It's on page 169 in the middle column toward the bottom.
So the first thing that I see when I look up enterocolitis, it says see also enteritis. But before I go in that direction, I'm going to look underneath enterocolitis to see if it says anything about induced food protein due to. Those are all things that I need to check. And if we all agree, I do not see any of those terms below enterocolitis. Do we all agree?
Yes.
Okay. So because it says see also enteritis, we now need to look at enteritis. So enteritis is on page 168. And because it says allergy underneath enteritis, I need you to find the word allergic. Then under allergic, it says food protein induced enterocolitis syndrome. And it gives you a code of K52.21. And when you double check that code, which is on page 729, K52.21 says food protein induced enterocolitis syndrome. But what I would like for you to do is look above the code where K52 starts, and it says use additional code to identify type of food allergy. Does everybody see that? So in order to find the code that they're talking about, there's a couple things that we can do here. It tells you to look at code Z91.01 through Z91.02. So obviously there's only two codes there. So let's look at those two Z codes. And those are obviously all the way in the back.
Page 1280.
So, Ms. Georgia, are we going to use two codes in here?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So is it the allergy to eggs? Eggs Z91.012?
Correct.
Okay.
Z91.012. So you're going to list first the enteritis code, followed by the Z code, which obviously says that the patient has an allergy to eggs, which is causing the enteritis problem. Any questions on that one before we move on?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's look at number 15. Hepatitis and Coxsackie viral disease. What's your keyword?
Virus.
Hepatitis?
Hepatitis.
Hepatitis. Then under hepatitis, you're going to go to the word viral, And I'm actually on page 201. Toward the bottom of the first column. Under viral, you need to go to where it says Coxsackie. So what do you notice?
There's a code next to it, in parentheses.
It's in brackets.
Brackets, brackets. Oh, there you go, brackets, thank you.
They're tiny, I understand that. But remember what the brackets mean?
You gotta look at that code.
Nope.
What?
You have to go look at that code too.
Okay, that's right, 100%. But what does something mean when it's in brackets in the alphabetical listing?
Secondary?
That's the second.
Secondary code.
Secondary code. So it's in brackets and it's also italicized, even though it's a little difficult to see because it's tiny. So what it's telling you is you're going to need those two codes once you've confirmed them, and they have to be listed in that order. Because when you go look at the second code, it's going to be in blue or green, as Susanna says.
Okay, so when I go to the B3 3.8, it just says other specified viral disease. Okay.
The B3 3.8.
On page
Yes.
464.
Okay.
But
that's
then,
why you have a second code, because it defines the Coxsackie.
But my question to you is, if the book wouldn't have told us to use a second code, when we go to B3 3.8, we wouldn't have known that, correct? Because on here, it doesn't say to use a second code. So what I'm saying is, when we look it up, for us to know that it needed that second code, it would say it in bracket all the time.
I can't say 100% yes to that, Susanna. Most of the time, yes. Because when you went to hepatitis and you went to viral, then what type of viral is it, or virus is it? It's Coxsackie. So that's why it's giving you the second code there.
Yeah, so when I went to the second code, the K77, Madeline, shh, give me a second. It says to code first underlining disease such as, which it is on green, forest blue. Okay.
So that's why in the alpha, it's giving you the two codes, and the second one in brackets telling you before you even look it up that it can't be a primary.
Yes. Anybody else raining where they're at?
Yeah, it's
pouring rain.
It's pouring here.
It's pouring here. Yeah.
Okay, so the final codes on 15 in this order: B33.8 and K77. I don't know if she's talking to me or somebody else. Are you talking to me?
No, my daughter, she wants to go out in the rain and she's having her hair in her mouth. I'm like, no. She grabbed her dolls and everything. I'm like, no, girl, we ain't going outside. Crazy. No, outside.
All right, let's look at number 16, please. So we have a gastrojejunal ulcer with obstruction, with hemorrhage and perforation. Now, before we even start this, we're not going to look for the word obstruction. For whatever reason, it's not there. But this is what we call a combo code. And I talked about how sometimes that a problem has multiple issues, and this is going to be one of them. It's not hard. You do it exactly the same way. It's just that it's a combination of things that are wrong with the main term. So let's everybody turn to the word ulcer, please. The page that you should be looking at is 345. Under ulcer, you're going to go to gastrojejunal. The middle column. Then under the gastrojejunal, it has the word with, and ours is with hemorrhage and perforation. Remember I said forget obstruction on this one. K28.6. Let's check it, please.
So we would only use the 0.6. We wouldn't use the 0.4 as well.
Hang on. I want to make sure everybody's there. Good question, Keisha. Okay, page 725. So when they sent us to K28.6, it says chronic or unspecified gastrojejunal ulcer with both hemorrhage and perforation.
I'll put more.
First thing, pardon? Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. That's right. So the thing that I want you to notice here is ours does not say acute or chronic. Do we all agree? Okay.
Yes.
The code that they sent us to starts off with the word chronic, but then it says unspecified. And what that means is unspecified as to acute or chronic. Typically, remember the rule of thumb that I told you. If it does not say chronic, you code it as acute. But in this scenario, there's a code that says unspecified. So we honestly do not know if it's acute or chronic. I would have a tendency personally to go straight to acute because of the rule. Even though the alpha sent me to chronic, as I look at those other codes there, So for instance, K28.2 says acute gastrointestinal ulcer with both hemorrhage and perforation. Now, obviously, in real life scenario, I can find out if it's acute or chronic. If it's just started, obviously it's acute. If the patient's been coming in for months because of it, it's now a chronic condition. But we are going to stick with 528.6 because it says the word unspecified. Are we good?
Yeah.
Does anybody have a question?
Is it 52.6? K52.6?
K28.6.
Oh, yeah, 2.6. Yeah. Right.
All right, I'm going to let you do 17 on your own.
K82.4.
K82.4. Awesome. Everybody okay?
Can so we go to gallbladder.
And then strawberry.
I didn't find strawberry. That's the
Hang on.
Say C condition. So condition is strawberry.
yeah. That's where I had to go. So I got
Yes.
confused.
Yeah,
Okay.
page 737.
I just went straight to strawberry.
Oh,
I thought we couldn't look up a body part.
We can't. You're right. Sorry, you were right, Tisha.
Because when I went to gallbladder, they say to go condition.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
condition is strawberry.
okay.
It's just how the gallbladder looks. You know how the outside of a strawberry is kind of dimply and it has little, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's what the gallbladder looks like. That's why they call it a strawberry.
Okay.
It's not red.
Mhm.
It's just the outside of the gallbladder looks, I guess pitted is the only word I can think of. But when you go to strawberry, right under strawberry, it says gallbladder. But anytime when you're looking something up and it says C condition, that's a body part, typically.
So I went to gallbladder, then it's sending us to condition, and then condition is sending us to disease.
No. You do not turn to the word condition. It's telling you to look at your description and find out what the condition is. In this scenario, it's the word strawberry.
So we go look at the word strawberry?
Yes, page
Oh.
323.
Okay, cool. My daughter goes right now, Mom, can you put the Beach Boys on? I don't know if you all know what that is, but that's old music, you know, good music. Oh, we grew up, my son grows up on it. Now my daughter's growing up with music like that because my husband loves music like that, you know? So right now I'm like putting videos of the Beach Boys.
I love the Beach Boys, but I'm old.
Yeah, you're not old.
But my sister, I have a sister that's 15 years younger than me. So she obviously was in the car with me quite a bit. And so she listened to all of my music because she didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
And now she loves my music.
Of course. I don't say old. I say
think her
we're
friends
just
are
like
like,
wine.
why are you listening to that? Led Zeppelin.
Right, baby. Black Sabbath.
Stairway
Red
to
Hot Chili
Heaven.
Peppers for me.
Yeah, AC/DC.
My son loves Queens.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah, Queen too. All that is this big circle. It's gonna come around and continue coming around. Because that's
That
some
was my
good-ass
big
music right
brother. All the
there.
same bands. That was my big brother. For me, it was Metallica, Guns N' Roses, and then later
Yes.
it was Red Hot
my
Chili Peppers.
brother-
I still
my
love them.
brother
Bon
loves all
Jovi.
that.
Who's into Bon Jovi here? Ah, Elizabeth.
We
I
see the
did.
I'm
hands.
into all kinds of music.
That's good.
Yeah.
Fun. I don't like the head banging stuff.
If you
That's the
guys want a
hardcore
good,
stuff.
I keep talking about RHCP, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. If you guys ever want a really good laugh, look up Red Hot Chili Peppers Block Party. It's hilarious. The video, so funny. I just died laughing. They're crazy.
All right, let's move on to 18, please. So 18 says acute and chronic cholecystitis. So obviously we need to go to cholecystitis first.
Is it page 93? Middle
Where it
column.
starts, yes.
And acute. It is K81.0.
Okay, so this one's tricky because it says acute and chronic. So underneath cholecystitis, you're going to go down to the word acute. I'm still on page 93, the middle column. Under the word acute is the word with. Under with, you need to go to where it says chronic cholecystitis.
K 81.2.
Yes. Everybody okay on 18? All right, 19 says recurrent bilateral inguinal hernia. Keyword,
Hernia.
that is correct. And then you're going to ask yourself what kind of hernia, because there's multiple types of hernias, and that would be location.
I went to I did that. I went to hernia, I went to inguinal.
Correct.
And
Then bilateral.
yeah, bilateral recurrent, and I got K 40.11. But when I
No,
go to verify that, it says with gangrene, which it doesn't say in the description of the condition.
let me look. Let me go back to the alpha. You're close, but
Bilateral
okay,
inguinal.
I see where you
hernia
made the
with
mistake, I think. Wait. Okay, inguinal, I'm on page 201, inguinal. Under the word, keep going down to the word bilateral. Are you there? Is that where you are, Terry?
That's what I meant.
201, bottom right column.
Yep,
Is it-
bilateral with.
Recurrent.
Then under, you can't use that recurrent.
Oh, I see what I did. It was under gangrene and I didn't catch
Right,
that.
recurrent is all the way at the bottom. K 40.21.
I see it. Recurrent. And it's under bilateral. Got it. K 40.21. Okay, thanks.
Now, what you could have done in that scenario, Terry, FYI, is when you got there, because you were in the right 3-digit category, you could have looked up or down to see if there's something that fit better than what you were looking at.
I just didn't catch that I was under gangrene.
Well, I know, but you knew that it
Yeah.
didn't say gangrene, so you knew right off the bat that you couldn't use that code.
Yeah, when I went to verify it, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
You need to
Yeah.
follow the yellow brick roll. I mean line.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Yellow long
Brick road is
line.
our friend, right?
But
That's so
it's not
true.
uncommon to have done something like that, is what I'm trying to say. So when you got there in the book and you go, oh, I don't need gangrene, you have two choices. go back to the alpha, or stay there and read up further or read
Yeah.
down below.
Yeah.
And as you can see how close the code was, 2-1 versus 1-1.
That's what I've been doing. I've been realizing like sometimes I do end up close, but not quite, no cigar. So I start looking, you know, where I'm already in the code section where I can verify, and I try to find something closer.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean that every time you have to go back. That's my preferred way.
Yeah.
But in that scenario, I probably would not have done that. I would have probably just stayed right there to see if I could find the right code.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Miss Georgia. I'm lost. So I'm on page 202 under hernia.
Okay. Under hernia, you have to find the word inguinal.
Yes, I have found that, and I also found recurrent for K4 40.91.
No. Are you in the third column on page 201?
201?
That's where you're supposed to be. This is on page 201. The third column,
I'm going, oh, okay.
that's inguinal towards the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Then the word recurrent is at the bottom of the page.
K40.21?
Correct.
Oh, okay. What did I do wrong here? Hernia. Hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, number 20 says liver damage because of chronic alcoholism. So you're going to need two codes on this one. One for the liver damage and one for the chronic alcoholism. So do liver damage first.
Is it K76.9 for liver damage?
Say that again.
K76.9 for liver damage?
No.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So the liver damage will be like condition, right?
Correct.
Then it tells me to see disease, right?
Okay. See disease. You have to go to the word damage. I'm on page 120.
Oh, Okay.
Then under damage, you go to liver.
Okay.
Then under that, it says alcoholic.
Okay. K70.9. So,
And I know that it feels like it might be a little bit redundant because it says damage liver alcoholic. But for somebody to have that extensive of liver damage, it's alcoholism.
so just so
If
you know, I still got that same code when I went under disease, liver, and it says alcoholic, chronic.
So is that,
What? Hang on just a second. You went where, Keisha?
I went under disease.
Why? No, I'm just, no, I'm not. It's fine that you did, but I want to know where that came from
Why?
here.
Because I went to condition first,
Condition of what?
the liver. That's
No.
what I was, that was my, this is my train of thought. I
No,
still
that's
got,
what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
it's
okay.
wrong, but I got the right answer. It was, I went to condition, says see disease. I went to disease, went to liver. It says chronic. It says alcoholic, chronic, K70.9.
Okay,
So I just went,
okay, that's hallelujah that you did get the right code, but that took you twice as long.
right. Okay, I'm going backwards.
You got to stop. You have to take the words that you have. You're, and it's okay. I'm just trying to help you see the way that I went versus the way that you went. That's a lot more steps because it specifically says liver damage. We can't look up liver, so what are we going to look up? Damage. And it maybe it feels like that word wouldn't be in there.
That's why I felt it wouldn't be in there.
Right, but there's a lot of things that are damaged because of other problems.
Okay.
So, is the alcoholism under dependency? Then it's
wait, back up. Wait a second, Carrie. You're going to the second code now, or you're talking about what we're talking about?
Second code.
Okay, give me 1 second. I want to check something.
Okay.
Hold that thought. Okay, hang on. It's okay, but I still want to say this. When you go look up code K70.9, which is the liver damage, right underneath K70, it tells you use additional code to identify alcohol abuse. And that's the F10 section. Okay, now go, Terry.
So in that I got F10.2.
Okay, but you're not done yet.
Uh-oh.
You have to look at F10.2.
Is it O?
10.20.
That's correct. F10.2 cannot be a final diagnosis.
Oh.
It requires an additional digit.
Okay. 20.
Terry, did you see right next to it where it said the 5th digit? under the F10.2, right next to it.
You're muted. You're muted.
I keep missing those little details visually.
So when you see the little fifth, you know
Mhm.
that's another code.
Yep. I just didn't even, eyes went right past that. Thanks.
You are welcome. All right, number 21. Here we get to go with our fun ones. All right, 21. Patient complains of difficulty swallowing with an almost constant burning sensation in the lower chest area. An X-ray is performed with fluoroscopy. The X-ray shows protrusion / hernia of the stomach through the opening of the esophagus where it joins the stomach, and that's called an esophageal hiatus. FYI. So once again, we are going to the word hernia. Once you find the word hernia, you're going to go to the word hiatal. And it gives you a code.
Are we going with or just by itself?
Just by itself.
Okay, so on page 727, K44.9 says diaphragmatic hernia without obstruction or gangrene.
Mhm.
Diaphragmatic hernia NOS,
Okay.
correct?
Yes.
That does not look like what we went under. Totally different.
Well, it says diaphragmatic hernia. You're right. That doesn't say hiatal hernia. However, how it is in ICD, sorry, versus how the physician says it or how somebody else says it, it's two different things.
Yeah, but then I
I
also
know
see where it
that's
says,
very, if you look up at where 544 starts,
which one?
where the K44 starts. I'm still on page 727.
Oh, it does say it, hiatus hernia. I
Yep.
see it. Cool, okay.
Good question, now.
Gracias, gracias.
Okay, is everybody else okay?
Is it K for 4.7 or
No.
the 21?
K44.9.
0.9. Okay.
Page 727.
Okay, 727. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to number 22. 2 months ago after surgery for a partial colectomy, the patient comes in to see the surgeon for ongoing abdominal pain. Upon examination, the surgeon finds adhesions in the patient's peritoneum. Your keyword will be adhesions.
On the next one, Georgia, can you let us guess? Or can you let me guess at least?
Yeah, I'm going to have you do the last three by yourself.
Oh, okay.
You knew where my brain was going? Then once you find the word adhesion, you ask yourself, where are the adhesions? And it says peritoneum. And because it was caused from something earlier, it's post-procedural.
So you said adhesion and then peritoneum?
Peritoneum or peritoneal.
Okay.
But under that, then you have to go to post-procedural.
Case 6.0.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. Say it again.
What you guys finding here?
I got N99.4.
Stop fighting, guys. That belongs to Wendy. Huh? Because you got this one to Wendy. It's to me.
That was loud. Okay. Susanna, what did you say? Whoever gave that answer, I think, was right, but I couldn't hear you.
Which one? The one the
Case 6.0.
Yes. K66.0. So Susanna, I don't know what you're looking at. Let me go back.
I found it, but I was looking at post-procedural N99.4, but then there's another one right under it, post-procedural K66. So I was looking at under the wrong one. I was looking under pelvic female post-procedure, and then there's another one. It's
What page are
post-procedure
you on?
K66. I'm on page 54.
Okay.
So when you go to peritoneum, can say it right.
566.0.
Yes, correct. But then you said to go to post-procedural, right?
You're looking at post-partial.
Post
The one right below that says post-procedural.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at.
K66.0.
Yes, I know that. But earlier, I went to the wrong one. I went to N99.4.
Oh, I see. Well, there you go again, the yellow line.
What does the yellow line mean again?
That means when the word is on the yellow line, it goes with the word above it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Excuse you. You say excuse me, not move. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay, so the answer on 22 is K66.00. And as I said, I would like for you to try the last three yourselves.
Okay. On 23, is there a due to following with that peritonitis?
No.
It's just peritonitis.
Correct.
Okay, thanks.